Show us your tips for Pro Group Racing. Daggy and Beaver with you to look towards two very, very juicy looking cards at both Caulfield and Rosehill. Heading into the third year of the show this week, Beaver, believe it or not. So,
wow, yeah, there you go, eh?
2 years down. I think by and large we're in front, aren't we? So take that.
Oh, mate, you couldn't be too upset if you watch the show and follow the tips. I would have thought, mate. Kicking a few goals along the way, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's been a good ride, but in those 2 years so far, I can't remember two thicker cards that it's been just about impossible to get through this outside of Melbourne Cup week, I reckon. So both cards.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think they're both tricky cards, lots of chances in a lot of races, but I think that in a few races, there's some really nice horses that look very hard to beat, and then in the others, probably really wide. So there's some nuggets of gold in there, I think, and then some wide ones, which you can probably back a few in the race and still come out in front.
I think we're going to, say that's my strategy throughout the day. I'll try and outline two or maybe three horses in some races I'll be looking to play, especially at some of the prices on offer as well. So it's exciting. It's exciting card. Looking forward to seeing it, and it'll set up at least the Melbourne Spring very well. Some of these 3-odd races. Some of these 3-odd races we haven't even seen them race on dry tracks yet. So it's exciting to learn a bit more as well.
Too. But looks like it might be a little bit wet down in Caulfield.
Yeah, so we'll start there, where the Memsie Stakes is the feature. The worst of the rain has passed, apparently, so it's in the soft range. It may well get almost back to that 5 range as well, but I'm thinking just the worst side of that. Rail and the True should play pretty well, though. I don't think there's too many demons in that track. We kick off, though, with a 2,000-metre benchmark 78 race, which is a dandy to start off, and probably the first time I've used that word dandy on this show, so there you go. But how are you going to start the day?
Yeah, this was certainly probably one of those hard races that we talked about first up here. Really wide market here, couple under double-figure odds. I settled on Storm King, just purely out of fitness and race consistency. In decent enough fields, led up last, started Echuca, and killed him. Wasn't really tested there, and dropped 3 kilos on that run. And then prior to that, was pretty good at Moonee Valley and Caulfield. Jumps and runs, sits out in front, and might just be too good for these while leading and hard to chase. Thought the main danger was Hanandi. It was pretty good at Sandown last start as well. Just keep chugging to the line, and was pretty dour. But that means that the extra 400 metres here up to the 2,000 probably suits, and I think it's the main danger.
I sort of took the same tack as you, went right away from the Flemington race, the 5th position race, which led me with the 2 out of that race just mentioned, Hanadi, who won well last time with a gap back to the place getters there. And the horse that beat it a month ago, Shakespeare, and it's which is currently double figures. I know it's a month between runs, but I don't have that sort of concern with Patrick Payne. He seems to know what he's doing with these stayers. So, and you're getting nearly $20 when I did the form, I think it was. So I refreshed my screen. So happy to play both of them. And the only horse I did go looking for out of that 5th position race was Protection Money, who gets Preble now after having Alana Kelly for a couple of runs, and now third up, might be ready to improve here. I thought it was not a bad run out of that race, but a wide field to start the first. Race 2 is a benchmark 90 over the 1,400 metres. Sir Lemur stays in Sydney. What have you done here?
Yeah, good race here, wide market. I've gone for Mega Mia. I like the runs in this preparation. I think this field kind of sets up quite nice for a horse like it. Races just off the pace. It finished pretty close up last start in a race that was a blanket finish with some really decent horses at Caulfield. So I thought that was a pretty good run that sets up well for this. It's drawn well enough, and I think, it can run really, really well at $6.
I've forgiven Lady of Honor. I thought it just got into a weird sort of chasing position last time. Didn't extend right out. I think getting control here helps, or at least getting to sit right next to Starlight Scope, who could control the pace. And was also stuck back to the inside on what ended up being, I think, a swooper's day there at Caulfield last time. So giving another chance from Starlight Scope, who will give you a nice side at the price up on pace. And I agree, Mega Me is a great chance in this race. I couldn't understand the opening price. Actually, when I first picked it up, I thought it'd be close to favourite. So in terms of prices, maybe it's the obvious here. Race 3 is the 1400 meter benchmark 78. Another very deep field where I've gone looking for a couple here. I'm actually going to suggest that, well, the decision we had to make with home rule being scratch, I've just noticed, it was one of my bets. Do you think the Jimmy the Bear form's better than this field coming through here? And if that's the case, doesn't it make Cardinal Gem the horse to go looking for?
Yeah, 100%.
If I'm taking that line, it's not a horse I've always found, but I just had that opinion. And at the each way price, I'm happy to play with that. I think you're probably getting a price because of the gate, but it's going to be back and swooping anyway. I thought El Rocco was in main danger. Interested to see if it stays here or goes to Sydney. I thought that was a good run last time, beat all bar the leader, and will run well again here. What do you make of this?
That. I come down with the same two horses, probably in the same order. I thought Cardinal Gem was, a real tough chance in this. The only reason you're getting that price, I think, is because of the 16 gate. So any scratchings will help and bring it in a couple. But if you can get Posse up, okay, hopefully it gets into the running line, maybe 3 wide, but running line with some cover, that'll help. And this is probably not as good as you say, not as good a field as the Jimmy the Bear form line. So I think it's going to be hard to beat. I think El Rocco probably does stay here on a track that has the sting out of the ground, and it's going extremely well. And I think it's the main danger with that barrier draw.
Yeah, beautiful. Race 4 is another 1400 meters. What do we got here? I think this is a benchmark 100, open handicap, I should say. Another very tricky race here. So I'm going to play the two Moroni horses. I thought Buffalo River was great in the Lawrence Stakes a couple of weeks back, leading up the Group 1 there, just nabbed late by Mr. Brightside. The cut out of the track suits it a bit better here and may well get close to control without a heap of other pace here. And I thought Banker's Choice, first up, second prep in Australia, was a great run in the Doncaster last start, and then did chase Forbidden Love before that and was pretty good as well. Back here, as I said, it's now had the prep in Australia, trialled up well, and if we're swooping, I think it's in the game as well. I'm sure you're going to talk about Gentleman Roy, who's a live chance, and I wish I win comes here with the Imperatrice form from New Zealand, and has trialled really well. But you're going to have a crack at the two Moroni runners, I'm feeling here. Beaver, what are you doing?
Yeah, I narrowed it down to 2. Buffalo River, I'm not so sure about.
Does need a win.
It's been a while since the win. Just can't get me at the moment. Have to do something, which I think it does probably go forward. And Gentleman Roy, I'm just surprised at the price. I think it's a really good price. It's got the inside gate. It's going to push forward. As long as it's 1400, it's got enough fitness for that first up. I mean, you go back to this horse's form last preparation. It killed Bermudez, ran a really good second behind Yonce, beat Tuvalu, won easy at Moonee Valley, beating Agnelli. It was in some quality races, beating some really, really good horses. It's almost bomb-proof. So I did land on it on top. I just sat the price at the $4.50 to $5 mark. I think that's outstanding price with the gate draw. And I've still got to watch on Michelini Vito. I was disappointed with its run last start, but it may have been a victim of second up syndrome. I'm hoping it can turn around and run a much better race here, but back off the first up form. So it's my watch.
Beautiful. First of the 3-year-old features the McNeil Stakes over the 1200 meters, a Group 3. This is an absolute cracker. This is a great race. I'm not quite sure how to necessarily dice it up. My take on it, first of all, is I thought Aft Cabin would be looking closer to going up in distance and coming back, which was a concern, but maybe this is a reset into the Caulfield Guineas. But definitely here to run well. But I think, look, stablemate Dormier is going to run really well at a price. I think Jacquinot's a very good horse. And I think even, where's my other one here? A horse like Lincoln Square was a nice debut. So there's plenty in this race. But I'm going to go with the two blue colours and just watch the prices on the other. May have as well throw Jacquinot in as well. I think it's a very nice horse who raced. We've had a lot of luck there before coming to Sydney. What have you made of this?
Mate, look, it's hard to go past Aft Cabin. It's like it was midweek its last win, but it jumped. It sat 3 wide and it had cover at least. But you kind of went, oh, midfield wide, young horse, not so sure here in the running, and then just around the bend it just exploded. Been a while since I saw a horse explode like that, a young horse. It was very impressive. Gate 3 here, car aboard. I think it probably just gets into the running line where it wants to here, and if the pace is on, which I expect to be enough pace here, it looks like it's got a finish on it that could be an impressive horse. So if there's general improvement there, hardest to beat. I thought the other two that I would spec is Zambogini. I thought its first 2 wins have been good in small fields. Did beat start odds on against Fajita San, who was disappointing last start, but still they expect to have some ability, and beat Lascars by 6 lengths. So I think it could have a little bit of ability. And I thought the first up runner squad resuming was good. Around the $25 mark, I think it might have a little bit of ability and could be a horse to follow out of this. So I think specking that's not out of the question.
Lovely. The McCafe Stakes, so 1,100 metres, Group 3 is up next. Here's another cracker beaver. Who have you got on top here?
Yeah, really good race here. Couple of beauties resuming here. Probably only the 4 chances really in the market. In the boat, Star Patrol Generation, Red Cam Man. I don't see too many outside of that. They really have to jump out of the ground and find some of their best form to beat those. I've set it on Star Patrol. In the boat is a horse I really do like, but I just think Star Patrol's racing in slightly better company. It is drawn a little bit wider, which I'm hoping
it's drawn next to each other. So
yeah, so I think it can get the tag across from in the boat and either sit outside it or just behind it. And I just think it might have a little bit of the class edge. So Star Patrol on top for me.
Yeah, I struggled to split them. I'm sort of thinking along your lines that maybe it tags across and just can bully him first up into having enough pressure on into boat for Star Patrol to end up in front. And maybe the sleeper his generation, who we mentioned last week in the 3-year-old race, has been saved for this and has the camp on him with the inside gate there. Might have final crack, but I think it's the 3. But I'm going to go Star Patrol from Generation. And just depending how the prices and the market end up will probably depend how I play that race. But looking forward to it, that sets up well for some of this, races like the Moya and the other spring sprints there. The Cockram is a 1,200 metres, Group 3 for the girls. Up next, the resumption of passive aggressive, which is at least there's a sort of a horse here I can jump into and stamp on the card. This is a nice horse. It did towel up Star Patrol last time. He was also a nice horse, and I think it's going to run well here. But at the price, you can almost save on Chain of Lightning at the 750 or back at a place, because I think it's the main danger, and we don't know the upside. But yeah, passive aggressive on top, and looking forward to seeing what it's got under the bonnet in a second prep, Beaver.
Yeah, I had the same take as you on this. Really keen to see this horse go around again. Looks to be the progressive type and really hard to beat here. So you're right, the Chain of Lightning. Be good to see it go around again, around the bend. Gate 12 probably just makes it that little bit harder for it, and that's probably why you can get 750. But it'll be interesting to see what they do, whether they do try and burn across here and take up the pace like they did first up, or sit off the pace, which they could do down the Flemington Straight. I'm thinking they're probably going to try and burn across.
Not a heap of speed underneath them.
No, and I think that from 12 they just can't risk sitting wide.
Yeah.
So yeah, if Chain of Lightning does burn across, and Passive Aggressive does get held up at any stage, Chain of Lightning's going to give it something to catch.
The feature on the card is the Group 1, the Memsie Stakes over the 1,400 metres. A very thick field to kick off the Melbourne Group 1 racing here. Have you been able to single any of them out?
Yeah, cracking race here. This is a super hard race, given a lot of these horses are resuming, and particularly, I think they're all resuming, aren't they, except one, or one or two down in the market. So hard to get a guide on where they are in their preparation, but you'd think, given this is the Group 1 Memsie, most of these would be ready to go. 1,400 metres. I settled on 2. I'm Thunderstruck. Just a horse I like their backing. Really like the horse. I think if if there's enough pace on here, which I think there is, if you to go forward, I think it's probably got one of the most devastating finishes here, and therefore I've got it on top. Main Danger, Western Empire, the Western Australian that is over here, 1,400 first up. It's probably going to be a horse that's looking for further, but it might be just fresh enough here to run an almighty race, and I think this will be set up for something to come over the top of them. So that's why I've got on Thunderstruck and Western Empire on top.
Beautiful. Yeah, this is a ripper. I've ended up putting Snapdancer on top. I thought the last run in the Tiara, where it sat wide outside lead there and just held on, was only grabbed late by Star Tontes, was a fantastic run. Short gap between runs. Some of these off a longer spell. It's just had the freshen up since the Winter Carnival. Comes here, should get an on-pace position and will run well. Western Empire, you mentioned, I think it's here to run very well and is a nice horse. And look, interested to see how Tafane's come back off the that second to Cascadian was fantastic as well in the Sydney Carnival. Now in the Yulong colours, and interested to see how the now 4-year-old Elation stacks up. But chances don't end there. Going to have a crack at Snapdancer at the each way price, but I may well end up backing 3 horses here. Neither of us have mentioned Alligator Blood. You're just not a horse for you?
I was just a bit worried about the inside gate and where it would get into in the run. Obviously, last prep was outstanding. There's just been so much controversy around this horse. I'm not quite sure where it'll get to in the run and if it'll get the right run here, given some of the other horses, and they just might get the jump on it as they go past and it's looking for a run.
I had the same take, gate 1 straight away. And, I don't know, I just still feel like it's not quite a horse. So, but gate 1, I'd penned it straight away. Agree with you on that. Race 9.
I'm interested to, before you move on, I'm interested to see what they do with Tafane first up this time in. Will they take it to the front? Or?
I think so. I think they try and push forward. Well, I think Snapdancer leads, and that was what led me that way. And then I think it does line up where a horse like Tafane pushes forward. And if Alligator Blood wants to, Oliver can take it 40 because I don't see a lot of pace underneath it. I don't know if it's gone that well when it's led, but I think Snapdancer and Tafane almost get control with Lightsaber just on its back. But which is why I mentioned them, I suppose. If that is the case and Alligator doesn't roll forward, I can see it. There's 3 the fence and in a lot of traffic without that pace on. You right to move on? Good.
Let's do
it. the Heatherlie is the listed 1,700 meter race to wrap up the card, where I'm sticking with Jimmy the Bear. It was almost his best win last time. You're getting a better price here, and you're taking on a field of stayers resuming or or what I perceive to be winter horses. So I'm happy to stick. I think it's still a nice price currently, and you probably get an each way price tomorrow. And I'm sticking solid. He's been good to me, so no reason to jump off yet, Beaver.
Yeah, I'm super keen on Jimmy the Bear. I think it sets up perfectly again. Most consistent horse in over this period, and probably the standout of the last couple of months. This horse just continues to go from strength to strength. Paddy Payne's got it going good. I think the gate 11 suits, because I think here no effort goes forward. Jimmy the Bear comes across, sits outside the lead or just behind the lead. And just like it did last start, it's just too strong. I don't see many dangers, to be honest. I think some of these are, as you say, stayers resuming, or horses just not going that well. So I think it sets up nice here. I'd have to see Delph again before I get caught by that.
Leave me out.
No effort will go hard, but Jimmy the Bear will be too strong for it. A horse like Lunar Flare was okay first up. It could run well, but I just don't. I like Jimmy the Bear.
Yep, not much more to add. Let's have a quaddie. Good luck with this one.
It's all good, mate. Beaver's on top of the ball here, mate. So let's kick it off. First leg, we're going to go number 3, Generation, number 4, In the Boat, number 10, Star Patrol. I think the winner will come from that. We'll go pretty skinny in the next one. Race the second leg, number 7, Passive Aggressive, number 11, Chain of Lightning. They're the only 2 I can see winning that. Then we'll go a little bit wider. I'm going number 1, I'm Thunderstruck, number 2, Cascadian, number 5, Western Emperor, number 12, Tefane, and number 14, Snapdancer. And in the last, we're going to go number 2, Delph, number 7, Lunar Fair, number 9, Jimmy the Bear, number 10, Desert Icon, and number 16, He's Our Bonneville.
Lovely. For progroupracing.com.au, your best and value from Caulfield.
Yeah, my value bet comes up in race 9. Might be favourite, but I think it's great value. Is number 9, Jimmy the Bear. I think at the moment $5. I think that's really good value, and that's why I've got it my value bets. And my best bet of the day comes up in race 5, number 12, Aft Cabin.
Beautiful. I'm going to make Jimmy my best. I think it's going to be very hard to beat. I'm going to make my value a couple at the price. Snapdancer will run well in the Memsie, and Shakespeare is going to run well in the first at the nearly 20 to 1, I think. As we head to Rosehill, where the rail goes back to the trio. Whoever's been butchering a pig in the background there, finished, Beaver? What's going on?
Yeah, the missus is chopping and doing all sorts of stuff here, mate.
Removing a body or something.
Yeah, that's right. Possibly, mate, not that, because it'd be mine. So
yeah, no, makes sense. All right, I'm glad you're still. It'd just be a loaf of mince and a hat. Anyway, yes. We're gonna. It's a bit quieter now. It's good. Soft 6, rail true. Running line Rosehill. A little bit of drizzle around apparently tomorrow, but it's a nice day so far today in Sydney. We kick off with the highway over the 1,400 meters. Anything here for us?
Look, I wasn't keen on too much here. Pretty wide affair. I did like. I thought Dream Game was the hardest to beat. It's won its last 2, third up here. Pretty impressive at Canberra last start. It was a really nice win. I think it's a progressive type and can win better races than this. So I had to get on top. Thought the price was pretty good.
Beauty. The second is a 1,500 meter benchmark 78, and I'll let you talk about Frumos.
What is there to say here, mate? I think even money's unbelievable. If you saw last start, forget about it. One of the worst rides of all time. I don't think they'll make the same mistake here from gate 7. Won't be running at the back of them up the fence here. It's just the best horse and will be winning. And $2 is good value.
Yeah, not much to add here. I could almost see Bowman going forward here. Just after last week's effort, just go right at the front and not giving it a chance. But it'll win. Race 3 is a 2,000 metre benchmark 78, which is perhaps the least exciting race on the card. I'm left with 2 and not really comfortable with the second choice. So maybe it's left with 1. I've got Born a King on top, claim for Dylan Gibbons, but it's a winner and the rest of these aren't, is the simple take on this. It'll get a nice run. Won well last time here in same grade, and ran well behind Lyrical Lad, who would be in this market as well. And I found Ilafare the main danger, and that left me very uncomfortable. So maybe there's only one chance. But I do think Ilafare is ready now, and JMac has stuck, whatever that means. Who have you found here?
Exactly the same summation I had as yourself. Went looking in this race for something, and then just kept coming back to Born a King, just purely out of consistency. The claim was a good run in front at Famo last start, and before that one well it's here at Rosehill, so it's hard to go past that form. This isn't a strong affair, and I thought that made it just like sort of stand out to me. And I had Ilafare on top, running second here. I thought it's still building into its preparation. I think out to the 2,000 now might suit. And as you said, with J Mac aboard, I am a little bit scared of it, to be honest, but definitely those two on top 1, 2.
Race 3 is a benchmark race 4, in fact, is a 1,300 metre benchmark 72. Big field, thick field. There's 3 I'm going to play at the current prices. Diamond Diesel, lightly raced, 6-year-old. Both wins in Australia have been very impressive to the eye, albeit in lower stuff. Inside gates are concerned, so I need something good from Dylan Gibbons there. But I think he's progressive. Air to air, amazing win last time. Back to provincial grade, missed the start 3 lengths and won by 2. Now gets Nash, and hopefully can be close enough here where Nash can just let her come down the outside. And the third one was I See Things, who's double figures. Forgive the last run, trial since, and which was good, beating Emily in that trial. Before that, won well first up. And again, as I said, double figures. So around all those prices, I'll look to build a bit of a book around that. Beaver, you got any thoughts here?
Yeah, I thought Air to Air was pretty impressive last start. Doesn't win often, but maybe that win is a breakthrough win. It's only won the 2 from 25. And gate 16 is a little bit of concern, but it'll go back. So as long as they can finish off at Rosehill, it can be hard to beat. So got it on top. Main danger, I thought I'd spec mid-top. If it's a leader's track here, comes back 100 metres, will jump and run from gate 13, so probably takes up the speed here. And if it gets a soft enough run up, can plod along and be hard to catch. So that was sort of the 2 I was playing based on track and a bit of speculation.
Lovely. Benchmark 100 over the 1,400 metres is race 5. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, tricky affair, this one. 3 really in the market, and then the rest at double figure odds. I couldn't split Blazer Trail and Old Flame. I went for those 2, and I probably have Blazer Trail just on top, purely out of race fitness. Is coming up from Melbourne, but those runs have been good. Last start, I won that Mildura, I think it might have been the Mildura Cup, or it was certainly an open grade race. And it beats my Birmingham boy, who come out after that and won in a trot. So I think it sets up really nice for it, and had good form in okay races at Caulfield prior to that, and has won at Rosehill back last preparation. So I thought I've had it on top, and Old Flame resuming. Got a little bit of ability, this horse. So I think it can run really, really well first up as well.
I am going to put on top a horse that hasn't won for 1,230 days. Angel of Truth has spent, I think, its last 20 starts in Group 1 company. It was a length of a very elegant first up last prep, has trialled well for this, and is $16. So I'm at that price, more than happy to find out, and I'm pretty keen it's going to run well here. Sets up to get a great run. because a lot of these feel like they haven't won for 1,200 days either. Blazer Trail at least has. You mentioned it. And Grace and Harmony, I thought, was a promising return. After the not doing a lot in autumn, was a pretty good return there, and beat Pizarro, who Pizarro'd in last week. Will run well, but at that price, I think Angel of Truth is a great bet. I've been wrong before though. Race 6.
Yeah, well, it'd have to do something different to what it has been doing. So
that is true, but
I'd probably go with the more likely outcome. But I'll leave that to you, Daggy. You are the master of getting some of these wide, weird tips up. But
let's find out. Give it strength. 1,100 meters, benchmark 78. This is another great bet. Fire win. I'm not even going to talk about anything else in this race. It was just nabbed late last time. Don't know if it completely travelled up the straight all that well either. But look, Chain of Lightning is going to give Passive Aggressive a good race, and it's going to come here and run around in a midweek race. Even money is a good price. Don't think just bet on this one.
Yeah, tend to agree. Back around the bend, I think really helps this horse. Not sure straight track. It was pretty much left the sitting shot there last start, and I think goes better here. It is a midweek race on a Saturday, so way too good.
Race 7 kicks off the quaddie, a 1,500 metre benchmark 78. What have you done here?
Yeah, hard to get a line up here, but I'm going to stick with Colino. Just loved the win last start, loved the ride. Gate 5 here, I think it gets something similar. Hopefully this time it doesn't need to sit outside the lead and can probably just sit one out, one back. But we know if it has to, it can, and still probably for me looks the best horse in this race. Waterford's a little bit unknown for me. It is, it's an overseas horse, has had the one start here at Warwick Farm and won a maiden. So this is a little bit different to that. Trialled okay, but for me, Colino just race hard, fitness, going well, J-Mac aboard. That's a good pointer to me on the Waller horse and a better price. So I'd hit on top. And I thought the main danger was Arnequin. I've always thought this horse had a little bit of ability, and it was nice to see it win well first up. And I didn't catch it, and I had backed it in previous preparations. So I think it can run well here with the claim, and I would be speccing it as well.
I'm going to spec a couple here. AC Express broke through last start off a nice resumption. Rolls forward in this one. I think the 1,600 will suit, and the 1,500 will suit, I should say. And Tim Clark on a Wardhouse leader at neat trade price. Happy to be with. Yukon, same deal, will roll forward and is 20s and did win well in that position last start. And I think Grace's Styler is again a nice price. The swooper here, and I almost have a feeling it might be as good a horse as Colino. So at the prices I was with it, Colino obviously will go in the quaddie, as will a couple of others. I didn't quite know what to do with Waterford. So given the price, I just left it alone. Thought I would play wider.
I was the same.
Yeah,
I was the same. I think I do like you grab it, a Grace. I think it can run well second up. It was good first up run. It does have a bit of potential.
Yeah, exactly. And Colino's been up for a while and all the rest of it. But we'll move on. Race 8 is the 1,300 metre Group 3 for the 3-year-olds, the up and coming. Another ripping race. Another race I struggled to really know what to do with, because some of these we haven't even seen on a dry track yet till tomorrow. And I think there's talented horses here. The 3 I was sort of looking at, again, off a price sort of standpoint, with Charlatan, who's trialled well, resumes here off the wet prep last time. Back row, I should have won last start, gets Jake Hollett now, and will run well again. And even a horse like Kibu will roll forward and be tough to beat as well. But like a horse like Basquate is here to run well. Ringmasters, I think, has got talent. You could list them all off. This is a very good race. So for me, at the current price, as I said, it would be a small sort of betting around Kibu and then Charlatan and back rower beyond that. But what have you done?
Yeah, mate, I think you've summed this up very nicely. This is a really tough affair given lightly raced horses, a lot of them resuming, and a lot of them, really hard guide to get a line on their form, which is a bit all over the shop. Conqueror, look, I do have it on top. I think it was a good run last start. It was probably a bit short last start in the market, and didn't have a lot of luck in the run, and I finished off nicely. I did like Anaqua's run last start, so I'll be keen to see how it runs in the race before. I think that will give you a reasonable guide as to Conqueror's last start run, so I think that's worth watching. Basquate, I think was a main danger. I think it's packed with plenty of potential. It's very consistent, and all its 4 runs have been really, really good, and does have the McDonald-Waller combination. So certainly I won't be letting it get under my guard. And you're right, I thought 2 horses at double-figure odds were also good chances in back rower. You did call it out. I thought it was outstanding, and Hell I Am's going really well. And I think it sets up to run really well. So wide affair. I think Conqueror, Anaqa will give us a good guide on Conqueror, but certainly Basquate and Hell I Am would be the other 2 that I'll probably want to get under my guard if they win.
Yep. The San Domenico Stakes is the feature, Group 3, again for the 3-year-olds over the 1,100 metres. And again, this is a cracker, but I'm going to stick with the mark here, Best of Bordeaux. Has only been beaten by Fireburn, and that was in the slipper. The rest of his runs were good. The trial's fantastic coming here. J-Mac and Control are all ticks, but there's more chances than that. Prometo will run well. Nash going on off a nice trial. And even Ebha, don't think got around Caulfield all that well. Trial before was fantastic. Ran off the track there, but it's $23, and back to Sydney might well improve. And like Natuno well, it's a good horse as well. But I'm going to go with the favourite from Ebha and Prometo. What have you done?
Yeah, look, it's hard to go past Best of Bordeaux based off its form, and as you said, only been beaten by Fireburn. 240, getting down to you won't want any shorter than that, but no. J-Mac's aboard. It does look like a real good youngster, and keen to watch it return to racing here. And I'm still spitting chips about Spacewalk that had the race turn up last start and ducked out, whether that was under pressure or just lack of race experience. I think it will be better for that and can run well again.
Yeah, lovely. Great race. Race 10 is a 1,200 metre 88. You sticking with Shades of Road in the last?
Yeah, 100%. It's just a quality horse. It'll jump and run here, and it's going to be super hard to beat. Some good horses here, but hasn't raced against some horses of this quality.
Yeah, best race it's been in fairness.
This is the best race it's been in, but Mautai beat Leo last start, but Leo was very disappointing last start. So slight question mark there. Easy Single is a good horse, and it won well last start, but it wasn't the best company, and Conscript won well as well, but this is another really good race. But I think Shades of Rose is able to go forward and either take up the lead or sit behind it, and it's just keeps going from strength to strength.
Only horse I want to talk about that you haven't mentioned is Darjaran. Ridden out in a couple of trials for this. Did win well fresh last prep, admittedly at midweek grades, and then was okay heading to the Doncaster and some wetter tracks. Might be a dry tracker. It's $15. I think I'll be throwing it in the quaddie. But yeah, Shades of Road, the obvious, and you've mentioned the other ones there. The Rosehill quaddie. Let's see what we've got here. I'm going to go with 1 Carlapaw, 7 Yukon, 8 Colino, 9 AC Express, 12 Gracie Styler, 11 Waterford, into 2 Basquate, 3 Charlatan, 6 Back Rower, 8 Kibu, and 11 Conqueror. 1 Best of Bordeaux, and 12 Ebha. We'll skinny up that leg, throw Prometo in if you so choose. And 1 Dajran, 4 Conscript, and 8 Shades of Rose to bring us home. For progretracing.com.au, I'm going to make my best. Fire's going to win. I think Fire's the best of the day at Rosehill. And my value, as I've said, we'll go with Angel of Truth, but keen to play multiple horses in a lot of these races. I think it's another good betting card. Beaver, what have you done?
Yeah, I think you're right. I'm just going for it in my best of the day. I'm going race 2, number 2, Frumos, all up onto race 6, number 5, Fire, and I'm going to finish the day with race 10 at number 8, Shades of Rose. So I'm just going to play those all up. I think all 3 will be winning, and I'm going to have a crack at it. And my value bet of the day comes up in race 4, the midway. I'm going to have number 18, Air to Air, around the $6.
Very nice. I like it. Anything up north?
Yeah, I did have a few up north after I did the form up there. Good track, which is nice. I'm going to back race 1, number 11, Sweet Margot May, resuming. I think it can run really well. I had, what else did I have? I think race 5, number 1, Spiritualized. I think it will be winning. Bit of value, race 6, number 1, Indiscreetly, around the $6 mark. And then we will finish off race 8, number 12, It's Me, resuming. I think it can bounce back and run well up in Brizzy.
Oh, nice. Off the prep last time to get it back into work. Nice find there, Beaver. Good punning tomorrow. Looking forward to it. Should be a cracking day. Good punning, everyone. Take care, guys. And we'll be back for our midweek preview and to have a quick look back on all the happenings and maybe a horse or two to follow. Of course, check out progretracing.com.au for their free tips, extensive guides, and much, much more. Sign up for the mailing list. Subscribe to us on YouTube and Spotify. And we will talk very soon. Catch ya.